To your subconscious. Talk to your subconscious mind.
I was on this while I was still in the kitchen wall, so I was still listening in the kitchen. I was touching the kitchen wall, and I was still listening.
And I see what's going on. I think keep everything. We have to learn. I understand the overstanding that if I'm saying I'm this, and that, and I know who I am. But everybody is not supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. Everyone doesn't have the skill that I have. That doesn't mean anything other than, okay, use your skills to show and to teach so others can learn. That's all it means. Use your skills wisely. Use it for the community. So if I have skills that come from the kitchen, okay, how can I use that towards the community? Especially in the way that I see it. Herbalist, okay, herbalist, how else? Nutritionist, that's definitely on the list. I was already going to start going to school to be a physical trainer. So that, you know, that definitely aligns up with a lot of things I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm sitting here, I complain a lot. Outside of YouTube, I complain a lot about, when I complain, I speak about a lot about health to my loved ones. And I'm very serious about it because it's the future of the children that depend on it. Meaning, the children need to see it and you know, need to be involved in it and all of it. So for their future, they see, okay, yeah, how things go. Just like when I was younger, I used to watch my grandma in the kitchen, and she would be baking pies though, and making bread. You know, stuff in just the oven, you know, stuff like that, cooking chicken and, you know, stuff like that, and pies. But that's cool and all, but at the same time, it's not, because the future of the children is at stake. We need to go for the natural sugars, not the artificial sugars. You know what I'm saying? The natural sweets, not even sugars, just natural sweeteners. You know, things are more natural. And what I'm understanding is me, quote unquote, complaining, if I wanted to say that, is really stems from the passion of health and the passion for nutrition and things of that nature. So I'm understanding that I may come off as very aggressive when it comes down to health and spirituality, because I know that the future of the children rely on it. Like the children is the one that's going to lead the way. The children are the ones that's going to lead the way. So in every way, in every form. So when we speak about health and we speak about, you know, even in some financial aspects, we need to talk to our children about money. You know, we need to understand that, yeah, the future about money, that it relies on the children. So if children are having a healthy relationship with money, if we're not teaching our children to have a healthy relationship with money, healthy relationship, you know, with their health, their body, you know, teaching them to stretch, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They keep saying, oh, generation is cooked. No, that is a saying. That is a spell cast. That is not true to how they make it seem. No, nobody cooked. It's just that certain generations and certain children, certain things are being promoted to them. So that's why certain things happen. But if certain things are being promoted to them, from what my philosophy, only certain outcomes happen. So what I'm saying is, how about we evaluate all the school shootings, right? Evaluate their meals. Evaluate their diet, and it will show you why all of that happened. How about we do that? Instead of going in, their life path and what happened to them and psychologically and things of that nature and in the physical form, how about we just go based off of what was their last meal? What actually made them act that way? Because what I'm basically saying is we have to tie certain things into every situation, not just look at he was traumatized or this happened and this. No, how about we look at the last thing he ate or what he ate that whole week, and then we see what led up to the emotions and all that other stuff. Grand Rising. But in certain situations, they don't look at that stuff. They don't do that. But what I'm saying is the future of the children's future is health and wealth. If we're not teaching the children about money, about their health, then what are we really doing in life? If we're not teaching the children about money and wealth and health, then what are we really doing? That's my philosophy. What are we really doing? Because that's really what runs the world. Is the wealth and the health industries. The most money. It ties into almost everything. So if we're not teaching the children some type of way or something, then that's when the children is cooked. If you ain't teaching within the money aspect and in the health aspect, yeah, the children will be cooked if you leaving those two things out. Of course, because that's what plays into how you are, who you become, how you think. For my philosophy, I'm knowing there's reasonings on why certain life paths have been. Thank you for the love. I'm realizing why my life path was the way it was. Why I grew up mostly watching, certain family members not eat good because my pathway was to eat better. You see what I'm saying? I understand the reasoning behind on why I didn't see the healthy way of, relationship with money or health, because that was what I needed to work on. That's what the children need to be shown more. But we have to be the leaders. We are the leaders by that example. And it starts simply with saying, hey, and what I'm saying for my philosophy, I complain a lot, but I understand that it stems from, I guess, leading by example, right? It's easier said than done. Because I can try to eat healthy and be healthy as much as I want to be, but then if the children ain't seeing it doesn't serve its purpose. You know what I'm saying? I can be healthy and do my best on but if the children ain't seeing it, ain't seeing it every day, but ain't being told, it defeats the purpose from my reasoning. From my philosophy. I'm supposed to be doing things for the children to see so they can see it being done. Just as music, same way. It's supposed to be seen so they can say, okay, I get it. Because the passion is there. They know it's not a facade. They know that this person is actually doing this because they care. You know what I'm saying? It's not for a paycheck. Because let's be real. Certain life paths, certain industries, that's Babylon, they're just in it for the money. They don't really care about the overall aspect of the children and their health and their wellness for real. Some do. That's what they have counselors for. But then you got one counselor and how many teachers? Right. So you got one counselor that really, really care. But some of these teachers just in it for the paycheck. Come on now. I don't know. I'm not saying that to be true. What I'm saying is that's why the wellness temple is here, because regardless, I can complain all I want. I can say this and say that, but then when it starts to become tangible, then it's going to be like, oh, okay, you can't say anything then. You can't say anything when the wellness temple is here. But just talking about it and just saying it, yeah. But then when it actually shows up and it actually happens, Then it's like, okay, I get it. But why does it have to wait until that happens to get it? That's my understanding. But I get it. I also get it because just like I can talk about health and wellness, right? But then if you don't see me taking care of myself, juicing and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying, or at least attempting to, you know, it's like as soon as you see it, you're like, okay, bet. So I get it. I understand. Turn people to believers. I get it. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of it. And that's not the whole point of it. It's the point of the awakening, the ascension. The ascension is, I remember when I didn't believe until it actually happened. Then now you don't have a choice to awaken. But I get it. I also understand that is how life goes. I understand that's how life goes. That certain visions ain't gonna happen until it's actually in the face. You know? It's actually in the face of everyone in you know, in the whole world. That's when, you know, people turn believers. Just like if someone say, oh yeah, God did this for me. But then, you know, someone hit the lotto, or someone say, yeah, God did this for me. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, oh, they hit the lotto, but as soon as they hit you out, help you out, you like, oh my God, God is real. But they ain't help you out, you like, whatever. That ain't come from God. But as soon as they help you out, oh, it come from God, right? See what I'm saying? Like, I understand. I didn't understand, but now I get it. I get it. It's not nothing against anyone. It's just I'm understanding the path. Is that okay? If I'm not attempting to speak on what to put into action or what I'm talking about, then it defeats the purpose. But then when you start to make the actions to what you're talking about, it starts to become tangible. Then what can you say? You know what I'm saying? So I just understand that, you know, children and the health and the wealth of the children is critical, because they're the ones that's the future. Are they not? Yes, they are. They're the ones that's the future. We are the future. We are the future. We are the now. We are the now as well. I ain't never cut pears like this before though. But I just understand that like I said in one of my past videos, I'm being who I didn't have growing up. I didn't have anyone teach me about wealth, about health. You know what I'm saying? Directly. No. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. No, I understand every situation. And absolutely right. Because the children mean the most. And I didn't realize that. Yeah, I knew I love children and this and that, but I didn't know until certain things happened. So now I know. Now I really know, because I shouldn't be getting upset about certain stuff. And the only reason why is because of the children. And what I learned yesterday is that my path is supposed to be with the children anyways. It's supposed to go that way. I ain't supposed to just have my own. I can't have that many. Because if you have a wellness center, how many children are going to be in there? Probably hundreds. Exactly. They ain't all going to be mine. So it makes sense why everything is how it happens, especially through the Saturn return. Because we quick to, you know, definitely in the past, well, we real quick to post our food when we at a restaurant, but we ain't quick to post what we chopping up and making at the house. At least that's the culture I come from. They quick to the show they meal, but then they ain't showing what they making at home because it wasn't happening. But I understand the overstanding that hey, that's where I come from. Okay, we changing the cycle. It won't happen no more. It can't happen no more because why? We got people dealing with health issues now because of why the stuff that they wasn't taught. I understand about my grandma and the passing away and stuff like that, about white blood cells and red blood cells and stuff like that. I understood what was happening. I understood that it was from a health standpoint. I always knew that because I saw what she was making. I saw her weight, and it wasn't even always about the weight. It was the alcohol. It was the drinking, those type of sugars. You know what I'm saying? Along with the food and things of that nature. It wasn't a healthy mix. You know, alcohols have sweets, and then you eat sweets, and also, you know, fried foods. You know, and me even working in the restaurant business, I understand that all that stuff I ever sold was the worst thing I ever did in my life. And if I would have continued, I would have had to pay. Because why? As soon as I knew better, I got out. As soon as I knew better, I said, I'm getting out of this. I'm not about to get caught up in the sacrifice of animals. You know, some people could look at it a certain way and say, why you care so much? It's not about caring so much. It's about what's right and wrong. Because why? The future of the children are going to think certain things are okay. And they're going to know certain things are not normal, certain things are not okay. We didn't come here to just be eating anything. They give us certain stuff. We eat this. We have this. This is what we naturally eat. You know, but this is what they give. This is what they have. This is their options, but that ain't our options. You see what I'm saying? We didn't grow up. We grew up thinking that, oh, everyone had to eat the same stuff. No. That ain't how we know. We should be doing everything at home, gardening at home, everything. Yeah, you can go to the market. Yeah, you can go to the market, get your vegetables, fruit, everything at home. That's it. But I only experienced that when I was living with my grandma in New York. And that was probably like maybe 4 or 5 summers. So I saw home cooked meals. I definitely saw home cooked meals, but not the markets. I saw more markets when I was in New York. When I grew up in the South, it was more just stores. You know, Kroger's, Publix, you know, stuff like that. Walmart, you know what I'm saying? The norm. But I'm overstanding that, hold on, that was just for the convenience. That was never supposed to be the right decisions. And I even worked at Walmart. So what I'm saying is everything in my life path that has led up to what is to come is perfectly aligned, along with the children, the life path as far as the restaurants and the jobs. It's all led up to the wellness temple. It's led up to everything. So when I know I want to have a food part of the wellness center, the ITIL food, I know how I want the kitchen to look. I know how I want certain things to be. I know how I want the cordon boards to be. I know how I want the sanitation to be. I know how I want, you know what I'm saying, the knives to be. I know what brand I want, you know, stuff like that. I know how much space we're going to need, how much elbow room, you know, how many windows, whatever, vents, you know, the AC, fridges, all that stuff. I know the size was going to want it, how high the ceilings could be, because that's the main thing. When restaurants and temples and stuff like that, and even in certain stuff, we need the ceilings to be high. Regardless, when the ceilings are high, you have no issues. When ceilings are certain, you know, levels, that's when all the issues come in. I've noticed when it comes down to the restaurant and stuff like that. So I'm just understanding, you know, even working at Walmart, you know, stocking shelves. I know how certain stuff shouldn't be stocked when in the wellness center, you know, in the pantry. All that stuff plays its part. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying about what the children need to see, what the children need to be a part of. They need to be part of learning how to stock a pantry. Not going to go work a tech, like just sitting at a computer all day. No, they need to learn how to do certain things that contribute to the community. When you're stocking, the food and the, things for the community, not just for, your immediate family. No, you're doing this for a community of people that rely on you to stock, to stock this up and to get it right and organized. No, you hold a position. You're not just doing this for a paycheck. No, this is what you do for a lifetime. You provide the stock, the pantry, and keep account. Stuff like that. But if it ain't being shown, if it ain't being seen, certain things just ain't just gonna pop out the sky. You gotta put it in their face. Certain things just ain't gonna pop out the sky. You gotta really put it in their face and be like, oh, okay, I see it. They see it, so they can't unsee it. Some of these songs that we all listen to, we can't unsing them. You know what I'm saying? We can never forget the lyrics. That's the same way it needs to be with the children. They need to not be able to unsee the most greatest part of their lives. Wealth and health. They need to be able to say, you know what? La verga, coño. Ay. Why did I do that? I don't even know why I did that. I know why, okay. Let's try this again. Matter of fact, I would be smart to do this anyways. Oh, that's it. Let me see, I think these oranges is gonna really help. I got some celery, pears, oranges, strawberries. That is a different type of collage. It's mostly strawberries, mostly pears, and some oranges. So y'all can see what I'm saying? Got a little. I'm putting some celery in there for that. What you call it? I guess that antioxidants. I believe that's what celery is good for. Alexa, is celery good for antioxidants? Alexa, what is celery good for?
Celery is a low-calorie vegetable that's mostly water and rich in vitamin K. It's known to help reduce inflammation, support heart health, and provide various nutrients.
That's what I was going to say, inflammation. That's why I read that information for sure. I could do this the first time. That would have been easier. But yeah. Actually, I want this one. What I'm learning is it's not necessarily that I'm wrong about how I feel. It's about how I go about it. If I'm upset about health, that means change the situation and start making meals. That's what that means. That's all that means. And then learn from there. Because there's no sense in complaining. Actions speak louder than words. Ain't that what they say? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But how's y'all day going? What's up? How y'all doing today? What y'all want to talk about? Because simply the children wanted to go to a birthday party and one of them did. And I just realized that this was the first time that the child was really going out into the, outside of school, not around me. And I'm like, why is this bothering me so much? It's not the fact that they're gone. I'm realizing that, hold on. It's a certain type of love for children. because the pathway of the teaching, the pathway of the learning, the pathway of the overall aspect of it, it stems from the children. And that was my Jupiter's and Sagittarius. If you look up Jupiter and the Sagittarius in the 11th house, that's part of how it's for me. But that's also learning my chart more, learning who I am. Because even if I talk about the natal chart stuff, I have to know that I believe the stuff that is true. And what I know to be true is, I know I said that fast, but what I know to be true is that I have children, yes, and I love the children, but I also have a love towards the children, not just because I naturally do. It's because within my natal chart, the way that the wellness temple will get funded and things of that nature will stem from the children. You see what I'm saying? Because the children will be the anchor, the teaching. And that's what I'm understanding. It's not that they're the future. So it's just like, it's not that we can't teach each other. Obviously we can teach each other, but it's more about the children learning, and then they slowly are becoming the same leaders while they're young, in health and wealth, and those direct fields. So as a kid, they're knowing, like, hold on, they're knowing fitness, they're knowing their body, they're knowing their wealth, their health already. So then they naturally have a great relationship with wealth. It goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? When you understand, like, okay, I'm putting this type of frequency in my body, right? I'm putting this type of frequency in my body. Okay, so and then when you get the currency, what am I spending my currency on? So frequency and currency go hand in hand. That's not a coincidence. Health and wealth go hand in hand. So I just know, like, okay, these are things that I lacked as a child. And I'm seeing why. Because that's why I say I'm being everything that I didn't have growing up. So that's why it goes directly to the children, because when I was growing up, it stemmed from childhood. It always goes back to childhood. And that's the overall reason. I'm cutting more strawberries. Something like that. But that's exactly why the field of teaching is towards the children. Because it stems from my childhood where things was lacked. And I get it. So that's where I'm supposed to lead. All right, great. But I understand at the same time that nobody's perfect. And I'm knowing when I'm frustrated and things of that nature, it all really stems from the base of health, for real. Because I'm knowing that, hold on, if the health is right, then the wealth is right. See what I'm saying? At least that's how I feel to me. All right. Okay, yeah, that's what I took. So I can see about this. There we go. Okay. I missed that poor baby. Look at the babies. I want to see his babies. Oh, see. Dang it. Like I said, it's oranges, strawberries, pears, and celery. That's a different. Alexa, what are the nutrition facts for a juice that has strawberries, pears, celery, and oranges.
A juice combining strawberries, pears, and celery would be rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. While it would provide beneficial nutrients, it's important to note that fruit juices generally contain more sugar than whole fruits and lack the fiber found in whole produce.
Okay, what are the nutrition facts for strawberries, pears, oranges, and celery juice?
A juice made from strawberries, pears, oranges, and celery would be rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. However, it's important to note that fruit juices generally contain more sugar than whole fruits and lack the fiber found in whole produce. The carb content in such juices can be similar to that of regular soda, which is about 30 grams per 8-ounce serving.
I see what she's saying. So not too much of this. That's a bet. So only have a little bit, right? Not too much of it.
Yes, it's best to enjoy fruit and vegetable juices in moderation. While they're nutritious, their high sugar content and lack of fiber mean they shouldn't replace whole fruits and vegetables in your diet.
Mm-hmm. But the whole point of it is to not have to eat every fruit and vegetable, right? That's the point of juicing.
Juicing can be a convenient way to consume fruits and vegetables, but it's not a replacement for eating whole produce. While juicing provides concentrated nutrients and can be easier to digest, it lacks the fiber found in whole fruits and vegetables, which is important for digestion and satiety. Juicing can complement a balanced diet, especially for those who struggle to eat enough fruits and vegetables, but it shouldn't be the only way to get these nutrients.
What are some other ways?
There are several ways to get nutrients from fruits and vegetables besides juicing. You can blend them into smoothies, add them to sauces and soups, or incorporate them into your breakfast. Vegetables can be added to omelets, while fruits can be used as toppings for toast. You can also snack on pre-cut veggies or add extra vegetables to your main meals and sandwiches.
Are smoothies better than juicing as far as nutrition wise?
Smoothies generally offer better nutrition than juicing because they retain all the fiber from fruits and vegetables. This fiber is crucial for digestion and helps you feel full longer. While both methods provide vitamins and minerals, smoothies give you a more complete package of nutrients.
Got it. So what could I put in a smoothie with oranges, pears, strawberries, and celery?
You could add some leafy greens like spinach or kale to boost the nutrient content. Cucumber would also work well, adding extra hydration and nutrients. For a creamier texture, try adding a bit of yogurt or almond milk.
Okay. That's a bet. Thank you so much.
Got it. Sounds like you're all set for a delicious smoothie with those ingredients.
What would you name this smoothie?
Coming soon to theaters. Pulp Fiction, The Juicer's Cut. Ready for more?
Yeah.
Coming soon to theaters. Pulp Fiction, The Juicer's Cut. I'll be here all day. Well, all the time, actually.
All right, Alexa, go home. So at least. That wasn't smart. Well, no, I'm tripping. said, "Ew." No, it wasn't. I ain't gonna lie. That's not bad at all. That shit. I mean, the yogurt gave it everything: texture, taste, everything. Not too sweet. It's right there, bro. I want to put it in this though. I want to put it on this so it keeps its warmth, not warmth, but coolness. So this is pears, strawberries, celery, and oranges, and some vanilla, non-dairy yogurt. Not bad at all, bro. Wow. This was the yogurt. Cashews and coconut. Organic, dairy free. Wow, bro. That hit different. That hit different because the yogurt, it was the perfect amount left to give it that. Okay. Go see it. Let's see how it tastes nice. Oh yeah. Yep, that's going in the fridge. Oh yep. I only put a little bit of I put mostly strawberries though. And a lot of celery and a lot of barely any oranges though. I only put 2 oranges. Yeah, 2 oranges. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8, 9 pieces of celery. I think 2 pieces of collard greens. Like a half a container of yogurt, coconut, cashew, and that was it. Wow. I feel wow. I don't even know how to react right now. I keep getting spoons, but I keep getting spoons. All right, hold on. Let me see. I don't know. Put it in, bro. Let's put it in this. All right. So once again, celery, strawberries, oranges, collard greens, pears, yogurt, coconut and cashew, dairy-free, organic. Get you some.